You guys want to see more old art, do ya?
Yes,
Well,
yes.
Feast your eyes. So the thing that I remember about Ringling's portfolio
She's so talented.
was you had to have...
So in this video, we have, do I regret becoming a YouTuber? This is by Let Me Explain Studios. This is a Q&A. I'm gonna say, because you know how sometimes people have titles that will really pull you in, and then it's more of like just a hook to try to get you in. And then when you're watching, you're like, oh, they're not really, it doesn't really fill the drama that the title is trying to draw you to feel. I feel like she could go either way. I feel like she could actually, you know, it was a question that was asked, and I feel like she might have, like, be honest and say that there might be times where she actually does regret being a YouTuber at times. We all go through it. We do regret. We have our moments where we regret. Well, I would say moments of like, hey, do I want to keep doing this? So moments of like, I wouldn't say full regret where you're like, oh, I never want to do this again. I'm never going to do it. And then you decide, I'm going to come back. Not like a toxic relationship with like a partner where you're like, I don't want them, and you break up and then you come back and you regret it. That, not like to that degree, but more so in the aspect of having moments where you feel like, okay, I don't know about it. I don't know. I'm just feeling like I need a moment. I need to take a break. I need to just like gather myself for a little bit. I feel like that's where she may lay, but we're gonna check it out. If you're watching on YouTube, link is in the description box below. Let's see whether she regrets being a YouTuber.
Scene one, take one.
I'm ready like Betty. Let's boop-boopy do this bad boy.
That was cute. That was cute.
Did not disappoint. You're here for my
65,000 comments. My
so
gosh.
Let's get this train a moving. What was your least favorite subject you took in any school? Any variation of math that wasn't geometry? And I hear that's very common for creative folks. We can be very good at geometry because it's such a visual type of math.
I would say that is true for me, except I also did like algebra too. I liked algebra. I liked pre-algebra and algebra too. Quadratic formulas. I liked it. When we got into, what's the one that you take after? Was it stats or calculus? You know, the two of them. Calculus, yes, that's what it was. I was taking calculus AP or pre-calc AP, one of those two. I was in that class. The lady was talking. She had the projector on. Lights were dimmed. She had the monotone voice, like the dry eye guy, the Visine commercial guy. And I fell in that class. So I fell asleep in that class every single day. Because of that, I was like, you know what? I'm switching to psychology AP. And then I ended up with the hot basketball coach teacher that he was. I'm not going to say his name. Almost did. Almost did. But, you know, we're just... Okay, let's focus on the video. Focus on the video. Let's talk about the video.
Now that you have a fancy treehouse, do you plan to get an animal sidekick? All right, everyone. Line
for her OC.
The audition for Rebecca's animal sidekick.
Oh, that's he's from a...
aren't going to sell themselves. Do you have funny scuba diving stories, and do you still dive? I still dive sometimes, but definitely not
she
as
dives?
much as I used to when I was younger. But I have a whole slew of diving stories I could tell you, and probably will in a future video.
I would like to
I have
dive.
one big one that I have been saving in my back pocket for a special occasion.
Oh, I wonder what happened.
I'll tell it to you all, but I eventually will. Did you figure out a way back into the treehouse after Laddie messed up the lift? Working on it. Do you sketch
from
when you
her?
Draw, or do you
from her. I would say one of the things I do really like is that, you know how they have their OC and they're talking and narrating and their storytime animations from a solitary place. She is one of two that I know that evolves that space. It was a room, then it became a tree house, and she's not in the same one every single video. It keeps evolving, it keeps changing where she is and what she's doing, and I love that her OC narration space has its own story and has its own evolution. I really love it.
Start with the line art. I'll show you over the span of this question. I start off with very rough sketches like these, then after that I draw in the line art. Slap some color on this tall drink of water, and you got me. Okay, I saw so many
I wish I could do this.
questions that I'm just going to quickly blurt out stuff.
My Little
My
Pony?
favorite pony is Applejack, followed closely by Rarity. People tell me I'm most like Rarity, but I consider myself a perfect blend of her and Applejack. My favorite song is Apples to the Core, followed closely by You're in My Head Like a Catchy Song.
Oh, so
that
she's...
episode made me cry. And while I don't know what my current pony Sona would look like, I drew this one for myself many years ago.
What are they called? What are they called when they're because they have conventions, right, for My Little Pony and stuff. What are they called? There's a name for them. Let me know down below. Bro, oh, it's bronies. Is bronies, you know, is that anyone can use that term, or is it just for bros that like ponies? Or like, am I a bro too? You know, I guess I want to know.
Call. Do with that as you will. What's your favorite currently airing cartoon? Probably Amphibia, but there are so many great shows going on right now.
There are a lot of good animated shows.
Treehouse, and where did you get the idea? I had the idea of putting ToonBecca in a physical location a couple of years ago. Something to ground her while she's
I love it.
narrating
Looks like a
and really
Disney
reinforce
thing.
that
This looks like
feeling
a
of
Disney
friend
show.
inviting you in for a visit and telling you stories. And because I had expressed my love for treehouses in a previous video, I thought, what better place to put her? My favorite part in designing it was researching. I spent a lot of time on Pinterest and interior decorating websites, and I have a lot of folders on my computer filled with inspiration.
Hold on. I like that one. Wait, is it left? You guys said? Oh no, that goes back.
Pinterest and interior decorating
Hold on.
websites.
There's one
I have a lot of folders.
I love this one. It has like this bridge up to it, and oh, I wish I could. I wish I could. This one's cool too. It's like, it is literally built. That's like a whole tree right there. At first I thought this was like a regular house, but no, it's still a tree house. This one, they carved like a Disney like door in the tree.
On my computer filled with inspiration
I
for
want
the
one.
look and feel of her treehouse. And it was fun figuring out what objects ToonBecca would want in her house and the secret stories behind them. How many boxes of mac and cheese would it take to fill your bath?
24.
What's your favorite step in
That's
the video
hilarious.
process, and what's your least favorite step?
That's such a random question.
I really love writing the script and doing the overall concept development, like figuring out what the moral.
Yeah, writing
and theme
scripts
of the
is so much
story
fun.
is, narrator Rebecca's
So
outfit,
much fun.
the main color of the backgrounds, just the overall look and feel of the video and what I want to say. And my least favorite step of the process is audio editing. It's when I take all of my raw voiceover where I do a dozen takes of every
it could be
line,
painful.
find the best ones, and edit them all together.
It could
And
be
for a
painful.
standard video of mine, you're looking at 1 to 2 hours of raw audio to sift through. I honestly wish I could hand this over to someone else, but I'm very nitpicky about line delivery and voice quality.
Yeah.
So just imagine doing this for hours. So just imagine doing this for hours. So just imagine doing this for hours.
That's how she.
Just imagine doing this for hours.
I love my job.
What was the hardest?
I would say, yeah, I can agree with that. I can't say necessarily hours. It would take me for, yeah, you know what? Yes, it would take me hours in the span of like recording, listening back, editing it, and then like listening to it. Like I do a couple more times. So yes, I would say like 2 hours to write the script and record the audio and listen back to it, edit it to make sure it's good, because there are a lot of sounds that you miss without a visual component, right? Or that you hear with a visual component. So like without a visual component. What I mean to say is when you ain't looking at anything, you can hear a lot of things, okay? And you hear that sound, or like the breath, like before I'm about to talk, you know, and I cut a lot of those out because I do that a lot, you know. I don't know why. I do. Well, I mean, everybody, you breathe too. I breathe, you breathe, we all breathe. That's what we do. We breathe.
Project you had to do in animation school.
I don't
How
know
long
why I
did
was
it
so
take to
aggressive
do,
with that.
and how did it turn out? That would definitely be my thesis film, Bottled Opera. It took roughly a year and a half to make from start to finish, half of junior year and all of senior year.
Oh, she's
I
so
lost
beautiful.
A lot of hair, a lot of weight, and a lot of sleep while working on that project.
Oh,
I
dear.
would even venture to say that it is the hardest thing I have ever done in my life. And I guess
It's
it
so
turned
beautiful.
out good? Not great, just good. I know some of you may look at it and think I'm being too hard on myself, but
Right.
by animation industry standards, it barely made the cut. Fun
Oh,
fact,
okay.
this film is the reason I sing opera now. The process of making my thesis was absolute hell,
opera?
so if you want me to make a video about that story, then go ahead and let me know in the comments below. What are
Okay.
your pronouns? She, her. Thanks for asking. What's your favorite
I
planet?
like the blush.
Ever since I was a kid, my favorite has been Saturn because I like its rings. Now that
Okay,
you've become
okay.
a toon, have you taken any precautions against a Who Framed Roger Rabbit scenario?
Wait,
Has there ever been a video
what? What's the question? I did see that there was a lang. Oh, lang. I missed the avocado. Shout out to Sweatshirt Shoddy for the tier 1 sub. Thank you so much. And I am D'Angela for the follow. Shout out to you. And Sassy as Jazz for the follow. Thank you guys so much. You don't breathe. Joke's on you. You are breathing. But thank you guys so much. Thank you. I missed him. But you know, y'all saw him. Y'all got to enjoy him. Get those lang langs in the trap.
Scenario.
Again, I need to, because I don't. Now that you've become to, and how have you taken precautions against like the ending of Who Framed Roger Rabbit? That's such a good movie. That is such a good movie.
It's the Who Framed
Maybe
Roger
that's what they're
Rabbit
talking
scenario.
about.
Has there ever been a video that took a mental toll while trying to record the audio? When making my Draw My Life video, there were a couple of times that were emotionally hard for me to record or animate.
Aww.
When you recount your life, you're forced to revisit some painful memories and reflect on how they've affected you as a person.
Yeah,
the
this one
moment I
was
sat
sad.
down and had to start animating the scene where I talk about Dad's death, I took about 10 minutes to just sit and cry. I needed to get it out of my system so I could focus on the task at hand.
Right.
Have you ever regretted becoming a YouTuber? I don't know if I've ever regretted becoming a YouTuber so much as I have missed aspects of quote-unquote normal life. There are many positive things about being a YouTuber, stuff that I am endlessly grateful for, but a YouTube career can present challenges to your life as well.
For sure,
Here's
for
just
sure.
one example of many. Because of the heavy workload of maintaining a YouTube channel, it's very easy to overwork yourself and not have a healthy day-to-day work-life balance.
So easy.
I struggle with working too many hours to this day. But if you have a standard 9-to-5 job, you clock out at a certain hour and thereby
then that's
have
it.
downtime in your day that you can dedicate to whatever you want. It creates a far healthier relationship with work, and I sometimes miss that. Who out of any Disney villain / antagonist would you
I would
trust
say
to
that
hold
I
you-
do agree with that. I do agree with the aspect that it's very easy to overwork yourself. It's very hard to naturally find a balance. You have to literally force yourself into some type of a balance to where you can live life, right, and work. And I think part of it for a lot of us is we love what we do. There are so many things that can be so exciting about what we do that we push ourselves to sometimes unhealthy places in working. And if there was a study on like workaholics and things like that, and how that might have increased in this whole influencer lifestyle, or not lifestyle, but influencer boom, I would be surprised if it did not increase, you know, because I feel like a lot of people really like what they do and they really have a lot of fun. Or you have the people that are competitive about numbers and views and quantity and quality and catalog, all that stuff, right? But there could be other different factors as to why somebody's like, hey, let me go all in and forget about life and miss it later, you know? It's a possibility. It's a possibility. I prefer a flexible schedule, to be honest, but you know what they say, grass is always green on the other side. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Christine, I'm watching this video on YouTube about a family sharing bathwater, water brown. That's disgusting. Why would you? I don't even know that. That's cool. Ugh. Shout out to the Mystic MO for the follow. Thank you so much. Okay, who out of any Disney villain antagonist would you trust to hold your drink at a definitely advertiser-friendly party? Who would you, if that's a question I pose to you, which Disney villain or antagonist do you think you would trust to hold your drink and feel like they ain't gonna do nothing to it?
Your drink at a definitely advertiser-friendly party. This one really got me thinking. It's such a thought-provoking question. But I boiled it down to Captain Gantu from Lilo and Stitch. I picked him because while he is definitely flawed, he has standards.
Yeah,
Sure,
he's an
got
antagonist,
ego and
but
a
he's
quick
not.
temper, but he follows orders and protocol.
Right,
He's
right.
bound to rules and regulations.
Right.
In his mind,
He wouldn't
in the
poison
span of
it.
the entire film, he was doing the right thing and capturing a dangerous prisoner. He
That's
wasn't
true.
going out of his way to do anything particularly evil. So I'd like to think he'd watch your drink for you and probably punch out anyone trying to mess with it.
Right.
If you ever decide to stick to just one outfit for your animated character, what would it be?
Goodness, why are they yelling?
Yelling for? This isn't Fate of the World stuff. There's no meteor. Just have some tea and relax.
Yeah, why are they yelling?
Now for promotional materials and merchandise, I've tended to use this blue dress with black leggings and sandals. I call it the default dress. So if it came down to it, this would
I
be
wonder
my
if that's
go-to.
something she
What
wore
are
in
some
regular
subtle
life.
body language tricks that you use to help the expressiveness of your animation? Here are some quick tricks. One of the principles of animation
Oh, for
is
like people who
exaggeration,
animate.
So pushing things here and there is going to make your body language a lot more expressive and entertaining. A teacher in animation school once told me that shoulders are the eyebrows of the body. Simply put, be sure
Okay.
you're utilizing the expressive capabilities of the shoulders when drawing. Be
It's
very
adorable.
specific about the emotion and intent behind your character's pose. This expresses very little and is kind of boring. This is very specific about what emotion it's expressing
Yeah,
and
it's
is far more
anger.
interesting to look at. And you can figure out all the best poses by doing them yourself in a mirror. This one's from TikTok.
Okay.
Muffins or cupcakes? Cupcakes. Though one
Yes.
may argue that muffins
Cupcakes.
become cupcakes once you put frosting on them.
Oh,
Can you show us the
muffin
art portfolio
time.
that you submitted to get into college? Ooh, you guys want to see more old art, do ya?
Yes,
Well,
yes, yes.
Feast your eyes.
So the thing that I remember about Ringling's portfolio
She's so
requirements
talented.
was you had to have exactly
Look
10
at that.
pieces. None of it could be digital art, and they wanted to see variety in the mediums you could work in and also the things that you could paint. and
Look at
draw.
it.
None of this is excessively brilliant, but it got me into Ringling.
It's
I just
so
wanna say, if
good.
I can get into animation school on this kind of portfolio. You know what?
Artists are so hard on themselves. So hard on themselves. This is amazing. This is amazing. This is amazing. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Right? If you want to argue on this, okay, I can get you. Because I mean, drawing people and painting people, that ain't easy. But right, she said not brilliant. No, artists are always so much harder on themselves than other people. Right? It's yeah. I don't know. A lot of artists are like that. My husband's an artist, and he like that too, bro. Like when he makes stuff, like baby looks. He's like, it's not that good. You know, if you were a trained eye, then you would see it's not that good. Whatever, it's good. Okay.
What's the weirdest thing you hate that mostly no one else does? Goat cheese. It is the single most disgusting culinary
It
taste
is-
I have ever encountered.
No, it's
To
goat
cooks
cheese is so
everywhere,
good.
Keep that garbage out of my mac and cheese.
Yikes.
What are some of your favorite channels?
It's so good.
Well, I've got some new ones I can tell you about. Speedrun, Defunct
Okay.
Land. Kevin and his team create incredibly professional, accurate, and entertaining documentary
Oh.
videos on defunct theme parks, rides, shows, and even more. Cinema
Okay.
Therapy, a channel where a licensed therapist and a filmmaker sit down and discuss mental health
Hey.
and themes and plots of popular movies, especially animated
Oh,
movies. Technical
I would like
Internet,
to watch
a
that.
talented stop-motion storytime animator whose content is very smart, witty, and sincere. He's a
Oh.
very hard worker and deserves more subs.
Oh, and he did a little bit on her. What's this one's name?
Themes and plots of popular movies, especially animated movies. Technical Antonym,
Technical
a
antonym.
talented
Okay.
stop-motion storytime animator whose content is very smart, witty, and sincere. He's a very hard worker and deserves more subs. Sideways, an
Okay.
incredible channel that talks about movie soundtracks and musicals, explaining in hilarious ways how important music is in telling stories and how filmmakers have failed to properly utilize it in the past. Wildlife Aid, a channel
lot
of
of-
British people with very dry senses of humor rescuing foxes, swans, hedgehogs, and more in the heart of the UK. Donations and views are how they support their foundation, so go give them a watch to save the animals.
Oh,
If you
no.
can get any animal, magical
That poor fox that was in the tire. Hold on, I'm trying to write that guy's name. Antonym. Okay.
creatures count, what would it be? I will be taking my Butterfree and Squirtle now. Yes, I will be taking 2 creatures. This isn't
Okay.
Sophie's choice. I love my children equally. Now, excuse me, I must go buy them little outfits. What's your
Squirrel's
favorite pizza?
adorable.
All right, here's the Rebecca Parham official favorite pizza ever. Stuffed
right.
crust, extra
Mhm.
cheese, ham, onions, garlic, if they have it.
Okay.
And pineapples! Yep. I have made my
That's-
stance on this excessively important debate.
An interesting
Pineapples belong on pizza.
mix
I
of.
expect your
I like
declarations of
pineapple on
war in the
pizza.
comments below. Have
It's
you ever
everything
wanted to
else
do
that
a
I'm like,
raffle to give away original
okay.
art? Wow, that is oddly specific and oddly on point. My merch
Mhm.
team and I have a new set of art prints in the shop called the Spellbound Collection, and all 3 were done
That's
entirely
good.
by me. If you purchase a set of prints before the 15th of April, you will be automatically entered
It's tax
into our
day.
golden ticket
April
raffle.
15th is
3
a
lucky
scary
winners
day
will
for
receive
me.
actual golden tickets in their orders and win one
Oh,
of
that's
3
cool.
original one-of-a-kind pencil sketches I drew while designing these art prints. They will be signed and framed for your convenience.
That
Link in the
is so
description below to
cool.
my store, and don't forget you have to order
Make
the
sure
set
y'all check it
before
out.
April 15th to be entered into the raffle. All right, that's all
Make
I
sure
got,
y'all get
explainers
to
and
it.
Entertainers, thank you so much for tuning in, but now I got
That's really cool. I do feel like artists can be so hard on themselves when they say that their art isn't good or that their art isn't the greatest, or like, oh, what, you know, the line that they always say, like, oh, if people with a trained eye would say that that's not that good, and I disagree. I feel like people would love it. just stop being so hard on yourself. Okay, artists. I understand that though, because I'm a perfectionist and a self-critic. A lot of creatives are. I tell my brother that all the time. I haven't drawn for 2 years. I got no motivation to draw. Oh, Asia. I mean, you got to perfect your drawing skill of how you want it. No, I get perfecting your skill, but I do feel like sometimes they're very hard on themselves where they're like, oh, this is bad. Okay, then what if you drew something? Would you bash your own art then? That's different because my art's, it depends. Some things I've painted and I've really liked, and then others, not the case because am I doing the same thing, Talent? Is that what you're trying to show me? That I'm doing the same thing? Butthead? Let me know down below. If you could have asked a question, what question would you have asked? Seeing her art. She's very talented, bruh. Like, I love this. This is she has like the Disney aesthetic to her artwork. It's really, really good. Very, very good. But yes, on to the next video. Let me drink some water. What is a real art critic anyways? I think more so like maybe I think there are professional art critics like that maybe have like blogs and newspapers they're part or magazines, art magazines and things like that. One thing I'm just, let's talk to the meatball crew, right? Or the big belly, big tummy crew.